Hello, everyone. Hi. It's Friday morning, and that means it's time to look at 8-bit Nintendo games and rank them and put them on a list like this one right here. This is the list. You can get to a version of this list over at 8bitnintendo.science. The number 8, not don't spell it out. The numeral, I suppose. The number 8, not MC8. That's a different. If you go to that, it's a different. You get all of the Compton's Most Wanted albums ranked. Music to Drive By, number 1. I don't want to spoil it for you. Number 1 over here, Super Mario Brothers. We looked at it back in episode 12. That was like 2 months ago. This is episode 20. If you want to watch previous episodes in the series, head over to the YouTube channel. If you're not there already, if you're watching live, I don't know. You're like, what? If this video fell into your lap and you're like, I don't know how this happened. You're watching a bootleg version of this video on Daily Motion. I don't know. Head over to guard.bike. That'll shortcut you over to the YouTube channel, and you can you can like and subscribe. You can slam down that buzzer. Get busy. You can get busy. You can get busy. I think that's what the button does. It helps you to get busy. And of course, if you want to influence the list, head over to Patreon. Patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. Or I believe dopeassvideogames.com will get you there. If you're not for spelling my last name, which I understand. Hey, I get it. You can head over there and you can find all kinds of cool stuff. You can get on the Discord. You can join the Gerstmann advisory panel and then advise me on which NES games to play next. As many folks have been doing this time around, and we've got another batch of games here. Maybe I'll make a short URL that goes directly to the post about the NES games. So you don't have to scroll back a little bit. You got to scroll back a little bit until you find it, because there's all the other stuff that's there. I keep thinking, should I post everything, even every YouTube video, everything to the Patreon, even if it's not like behind a Patreon wall, just so people know it exists? Or is that too many emails from people? I never know what the right thing to do is with that. I never know. I'm sure that they've got some science somewhere behind the scenes where they know. But let's see here. Let's get into it. We've got a fresh batch of games. Oh, man. We've got a fresh batch of games. Starting with this one from one Seb Mall, who demanded that this game be played in such a way that I unfortunately had to listen. Seb Mall, weirdly enough, was the inadvertent inspiration behind this entire list, because I saw him playing Captain Skyhawk and saw how terrible it was, and it led to this crisis of conscience where I was like, man, is the NES garbage? Like, it gets talked about like we're so far removed from getting our hands on the games these days, because instead it's just like this built up, like, assumed knowledge based on decades of YouTube videos and top 10 lists and all of this other stuff. You know, everyone's just like, well, yeah, I mean, the Holy Trinity, you got your Castlevania, you got your Punch Out, what more do you want? And all of that, and it led me to feeling like I need to touch all these games. I need to know, like, a little bit more firsthand, and stop. You know, I think a lot of us fall into the trap of just like, oh, ha ha ha, the worst games. Oh, these guys did these funny videos about how bad these games were, and Sean Baby told me Deadly Towers was bad, and so what? You know, but like I don't know. I played Deadly Towers back when it first came out, and it was terrible. But you need to know how terrible. And that's why we're ranking all of these games. If we go down to the bottom here, we'll see Deadly Towers is currently not the worst game. It's sitting comfortably, relatively speaking, at number 138. It's way better than Super Pitfall. Way better than Athena. And way, way better than Circus Caper, which is a sight to see. Anyway, to return to the games we're going to rank today, this is a strange video game. It's a little something called I wish that this was a smoother process. It's called Rollergames. Based on the hit television show, which apparently we learned recently that you can find every episode of it on YouTube, all 13 of them. Rollergames was a flashy American Gladiators style take on roller derby. And I loved that show for all 13 of its episodes. It was a real terrible program. And they made a video game out of it, which is really weird conceptually for such a short-lived thing. Enormous problem right off the top here. 3 rough teams have kidnapped the owner. The 3 good teams... Okay, so they broke the league up into faces and heels in a wrestling-like way. We're gonna join the T-Birds because they were like canonically the goodest of the good guy team. Oh, we got to go fight Bad Attitude with this lady who was their manager. Enter my zone and you'll never leave. This is not what the television show was really like. Okay. So it's like a beat 'em up on rollerblades, I guess. Oh no! You know, I had to reinstall RetroArch and reset everything up because maybe it's just me, but their current nightly build crashes on launch for me. And so I had to go back a couple of days. Anyway, I had to set a bunch of stuff up over again and figured it was a fine time to do a fresh install anyway. And now I realize every single one of my overscan corrections is now turned off. So I like to see a little overscan though, honestly. I feel like it's so when you see the weird flickery stuff at the corners of the screen, I had TVs that would sometimes show little bits and pieces of that, and so in some ways it feels more accurate to have the edges of the screen be all weird. Oh. I feel like these were not necessarily moves you saw in actual roller games. It was a lot of clotheslines. It was a lot of like skating by somebody and knocking them over with a clothesline. Oh. Oh, brutal. That's not good either. Oh, I guess that's my special. That's what I was wondering what the counter in the lower right was, and it's if you just leap at them. I beat those ladies up. Do you think it like a developer just took it out? Like I've got an idea for a good texture here. It's just gonna say no. The fuck? throwing grenades onto the street. This is way more, the stakes here are way higher than they ever were in probably any episode of the television show. Though if what the fuck was that? All right. It feels very weird to have like a, you know, hey, we put a falling platform out of your sight, and if you just, you know, you're going so fast that if you just don't, if you're not lined up for this jump, you're just dead. That's a really nasty thing to do. That's bad. That's the, is that meant to be the lady, the coach or whatever, of bad attitude? What, do I have to beat her up now? Oh no. That was a very questionable boss fight. Flawless skating. Well, I mean, I'll stay with the T-Birds, man. You know. All right, we're heading into the Maniacs. Never feel safe, even if area is cleared. Broken expressway. Next. Don't fall off. All right, so now we got a forced scrolling stage here. This is the first time I've ever seen the second level in Rollergames. Oh God. That's it, game over. Yeah, the Violators. It's Slam Ball also had a team called the Violators. Ugh. This is like a bad version of DJ Boy for the Genesis now. Also, why are these guys on skateboards? This isn't about skateboarding. This just feels like a bunch of like really like threadbare. Oh my God. This is just some real bottom of the barrel type stuff, man. It just like conceptually, you know, when you think about the television show as something that, you know, was not on the air for a very long time, you start to wonder, like, how long did they have to make this game and really think about it? Because I feel like some of the ideas here are really, you know, the idea that I fall and lose a life and that we're dealing with lives and like, you know, just from a like fairness sort of perspective, like some of this level design is super shitty. This sequence is great. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh God. What the fucking, what the fuck? mean, maybe the hot flash will do better here. That's just a helicopter. Again, the television show mostly took place, I'm going to say 100% of it took place inside, as far as I know. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but like it takes place on a track, a set course. Oh my God. And so, yeah, you fall, you lose an entire life. Seems harsh for this stage. I wonder if the continues are limited, because I feel like that's an even... Like, if we only get 3 continues on top of it being a pain in the ass like this, I feel like this lady's not as cool as the other guy. Cool, I hit the button. I did not time the timing properly, and so I did not get the fake extra boost off of that jump to clear that gap, and so instead we died. This sucks. This feels terrible. Like, especially this stage. Like, there's a weird momentum on the movement, because they figure like, oh, you're skating all the time, so it should be weird to move within the confines of you also skating at high speeds. Like, it's certainly not the first game to make a mistake like that, but like this sucks, dude. That was almost my ass. I just mashed the jump button. Can I punch the helicopter? It's looking like no. The explosions keep exploding too, so you kind of have to, you can't just like back away from the initial drop. Dude, this is terrible. Perhaps the rockers. Oh, okay. I was like, well, he'll go back and reverse the other way, but I forgot that they kind of aim at you on the way back. Okay. Still hear the... Okay. what? We're going back to the T-Birds. That guy knows how to fight. Ha ha ha. Oh God. Like the number of things that just like appear, the number of things that just happen and don't give you a lot of time to react to them is really weird. Or weird is not the word. Bad is the word. Like a significant chunk of this game is built on bullshit, you know? And it's a shame because like on some level you've got the Konami drums. It's like this game is evil because it fools you for a sec. You're like, yeah, man, no, here, listen to those drums. You know, it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that way, where you're like, oh, I'm in for a treat. You're like, oh no, this is a miserable disaster. Fuck this. Are you kidding me? We'll put two of them in a row so you can't really jump over them, because that's fun. That's gaming. It's a, yeah, I don't know. I just, oh, fuck off. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. And the range is such that sometimes you're punching the guys what seems perfectly fine, and oh, whoops, no, you actually ran into him and took damage instead. It's really, this game's really something else, man. Like, it seems harmless. You're like, all right, well, whatever. It's just like it's a questionable beat 'em up. But then as you dig into it, you're like, there are some choices happened here along the way that are really crazy. Like that, for example, of like, oh, you don't really have a good opportunity to correct your momentum there. Do I start inside? Okay. All right. Then we can do a little bit more of this. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, good. It's like a game built on you going fast and the momentum of that, and then they tried to put obstacles in it that where you should really slow down. By the way, you went too slow and didn't make the jump. Yeah, like Sonic. I feel like anyone that's a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog would probably love this game. Good. Timed that really well. And it's really fun to skate uphill, too. Blade was right. Fuck you. Every obstacle sucks. It's like they... these confrontations not super hard as long as you kind of like don't let them stay on a line with you for very long, because then they'll do that jump kick, and that's annoying to deal with. Oh. It's a good little break, though. Fuck off, dude. Are you serious? Like, good. I like that I picked up speed even though I was in the air. Like, it treated it like I was still going downhill even though I jumped. I hate this so much. This is maybe this was just how Konami treated its licensed games, you know? Like this and the Ninja Turtles game are kind of cut from a similar cloth of like, oh, I like that thing doesn't activate if I'm too far away from it. Yeah, good. So instead I get to make these like way more precise jumps than I should have to because of the way momentum works. I wonder if the decision to give you infinite continues was like a very late in development thing where they were like, oh, dude, this game is fucking terrible. Like, the people who made these levels are pricks. So maybe, you know, I guess if we let people memorize the levels, like eventually they'll brute force their way through them. So let's just let them do that. I don't know. Like, hey, can we put in checkpoints to make this less of a pain in the ass? Like, no. No, sorry. That would suck my ass. Video game. So this game, you know, this is different than, you know, I think this is a bad game. I think the science will probably back me up on that when we get there, but it's different than some of the other bad games on our list, because when we get back down to the very bottom of the list, you have a lot of games that feel like, that feel incompetently made. If that makes any sense. Where they're like broken. They feel like, oh, this is... like, this game does not work as intended. It's like that level of bad. This, on the other hand, sucks, but like, it's not, you know, it's not actively broken. And so, like, in some ways, that's, I suppose, better? Or does that make it worse? Because you could see a situation here where this game is better than this. But, however, it's not. It's just really, yeah, the levels are poor. The levels are annoyingly made. And the combat is really, like, really bare bones. I mean, these sequences where you actually stop and you can grab onto them and stuff like it was a proper video game, like that's you don't need to do that. Like, none of those systems, you know, like, oh, you can grab them and do this stuff. Like, none of that needed to be there. None of that actually makes the game any better. Seems like you'll occasionally take damage for hitting the wall too hard. Oh, no one... okay, we just get to go in, huh? What is happening here? Like this. Okay. They're under me and putting red hot pokers up through the bottom. Oh, thank you. We're done. Rollergames. It's missing the rock of Rollergames, you know? The original series had Lita Ford play during halftime on an episode, on a few episodes, I believe. Just a bunch of frustrating encounters and frustrating levels strung together in a way that you're just like, who the fuck wants to do this? And a licensed game, and so you also get to lay into it a little bit and say like, oh, like this seems like something that got shit out in a month or whatever, 3 months. I wonder how long development of this game took. I wonder, like, how long did they spend making this? I'd be really curious to know. 1990 is the copyright date on it. So wait a minute, 1990. Let's just check really quick, just for my own gratification. This does not factor into the science, but does that mean that the game came out after the show was already off the air? There are 13 episodes. Okay, so we don't. Okay, so the original series debuted in syndication mid-September of '89. Well, let's see if we can track down a better. Oh, that's right. There's an arcade game too. The arcade game is much more like the actual. I think it has like the roller derby like thing. Is there no separate page for the video game? Did they not make a separate page for the video game? Okay, September 1990 is what it looks like. March. Wait. Okay, September 1990. And then 91 is when the arcade game came out. So that means the arcade game almost definitely, 13, yeah. The arcade game definitely debuted after the show was already off the air. Because if they had 13 weeks in syndication and they started in late 89, then even by the time the NES game came out in September of 1990, it was already done. The show was already off the air. Amazing. That's amazing. Imagine being left holding the bag on that. That THQ almost ended up in that position with Slam Ball. Because THQ apparently, I was told, I've told this story before, but someone at THQ, before they announced, they never did announce it. But I was told that THQ had secured the Slam Ball license and they were going to make a Slam Ball game. And then Slam Ball kind of fell apart. And so they must have not gotten far into the process. But yeah, so this game coming out, I wonder if there was a real cut and run kind of thing here at a certain point in development where they were just like, shit, dude, we've come too far to cancel it, but don't spend a ton more time on this mess of a video game because the television show is done. Maybe they weren't sure if it was going to go for another year or not. Maybe, they did their 13 episodes and they were like, no, we're doing season 2. And then it just never materialized. So maybe it wasn't quite as, maybe they were tricked a little bit more than that. I don't know. V-Hold on the Discord says the game was designed by Nobuya Nakazato. Who you might know has quite a history with the Contra franchise, including Contra 3 for the SNES. So it would go on to great things. Did some graphics work on Symphony of the Night, so you know. Here, however, Rollergames for the NES, when we break it down, we really got to ask ourselves the question, Is Rollergames better or worse than Cobra Triangle? It's I guess it's technically a little worse. It's it's not as good as Low G Man, the Low Gravity Man. It's no Little Nemo, the Dream Master. It's not as good as Solstice, the Quest for the Staff of Deimos, but we're kind of getting into this territory. Kind of getting down there. I dare I say it, this game is worse than Battletoads. A game that, if this was not a scientific list, if this was not a list based on science, then I feel like Battletoads would be somewhere down here. If this was just personal taste, Battletoads would be down here in Athenaville. But okay. Is Rollergames better or worse than Captain Skyhawk? It's worse. It's worse than Skate or Die. It's worse than The Karate Kid. Dare I say it, it's worse than Dick Tracy. Is it worse than Hudson's Adventure Island, another game that is ostensibly about skating? Hudson's Adventure Island is really, really crummy. But Rollergames, worse. It's worse than Fester's Quest. It's worse than Renegade. Which is, again, is it worse than Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight? That's a good question, because that game is ass. But I suppose Rollergames is worse. Rollergames is better than Dig Dug 2 Trouble in Paradise. That much we can say. Definitively. Is Rollergames better than Gilligan's Island? Okay. Let's type this in here. And there you have it. Rollergames are new number 131. It's no Q*bert. What are you going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next game. This one was suggested by Ian. I'm sure it's come up a couple of times elsewhere. This one, I don't know if a lot of people have played the. This one's called Castlevania, like some kind of movie thing or something with this film strip thing. All right, let's give this a go. Yeah, I assume that this is the sequel to Castle. Yeah, it's the sequel to Castle Quest, and is this like the prequel to the Vania Mania Kids YouTube channel? Is that how this works? Oops. Dare I say it, this music goes hard. Okay. There was stage 1. Not a lot of fanfare. Just like, all right, this number in the corner is going to go from stage 1 to stage 2. Evil fish dudes. Money that just falls into the water, almost completely uncollectible. Okay, moving on. Where's the 2? I didn't get the 2. Oh well. There it is. Okay. All right, everything falls apart from here. That's the extent of the Castlevania that I can play well. And from here it all goes to shit. I thought there was, yeah, okay. Really good music. I think the sound effects are all really good. Okay. Is there a way to like jump up? Oh god. So say, is there a way to jump up and get hit by a Medusa head and get bumped right up to that door, like get bumped through the wall or something? Seems like that would be one of those speed run kind of tactics. You know, it's a very straightforward video game. Which is interesting when I mean, you know, there's a whole, the legacy of Castlevania and all of the weird forms that even this first game took. You know, whether it was, what, Haunted Castle or, like, all that sort of stuff. I love this noise. That noise. Oh, what am I doing? Right. Ugh. Okay. This feels all right. You know, it's it feels like a game you really want to take slow, right? I mean, but oh, and here we are, these assholes. Nope, that didn't work either. All right, well, fuck you. Again, with the human bones that move on their own. See, I would put something... I would be terrible at making a game like this, because once they decided, like, what if sometimes you hit the walls and stuff came out of it? I would be like, yeah, man! That should be everywhere! I would overdo it. And these birds are fucking dicks, dude. And sometimes the jumping feels weird. Like, sometimes you can take your head and put them through the blocks there. Uh-oh. Now we've gone and done it. Now we're at the part where we say, oh, right, fuck this game. Okay. Oh boy. I don't think I hit pause. I don't know how that paused. The pause button is so far away from... Anyway. I feel like this game is really good until you have to play it, if that makes any sense. I think this game has, I think this game casts a really large shadow when we talk about the platform. Why did I don't know why I jumped that instead of taking the stairs. But the knockback when you get hit, you know, it's one of those things that is integral to this game. This game would not be this game if it didn't do that. At the same time, you know, what if it didn't do that? See, this seems like I would go there and crouch and make something appear. Oh. Stopping time is not useless, certainly. But I feel like it's rarely the choice you actually want. Oh, man. Fuck. That's what I get for not walking forward there. I did it again. Oh, I didn't have anything though, so. I just don't want trouble, man. Ugh. Jerk. Bad spot to be. Right. Yeah, this is... That's rough to start all the way back here. Oh. I was gonna say, surely that must be the second fucking whip upgrade. Ugh. And then we go all the way back here on a continue. I remember leaving my console on for like a day or two or something, stuck at Frankenstein. And having such a hard time finishing that part of the fight. Yeah, this is kind of, you know, like there's aspects of this game where you're like, you know, where would we be without this game? And if this game wasn't quite this game, like if this game was ever slightly softer on its like knockback, you know, on hit or something, you know, like one of those sorts of situations. What would games have been like? You know, I think these games end up being... Sometimes they end up being like quietly influential, right? I mean, there's the kind of overt influence of Castlevania. But then there's the stuff that maybe you don't see, where, you know, developers look at this and go, yeah, there's a little bit... This is a little rough, like it feels like it could... Good throw. Good throw. Getting it done. Ha ha! Oh, well, now we're just fine. And so, you know, I think there's something to be said for the way this game is made exactly as it is, right? It's, I think it's a game you look at now and go like, you know, like maybe I would rather play a different Castlevania game. Sure. I have like no health going into this. This is honestly a huge waste of time. It was fun to meet that skeleton in the middle and whip him in the air. Fuck. Yep, going good, going good. Yeah, see, if I could have timed that a little... Oh, great. I get a 2 with no sub-weapon. Amazing. This game's also really good at giving you that cross when there are no enemies on screen. Oh. Ultimately, I think the frustrating thing about this game is like if you do it right, it's perfect. You know, you're perfect every time, right? There's a cadence to everything, and there's a patience to everything. And if you just execute, we're gonna get another no whip this time. Almost. He threw a high one. Three health for the bird. Hey, we killed a guy with one of those for once. God damn it. I mean, it's a difficult game, I think, but it's not, you know, I think it's real easy to probably not feel that way, especially about a stage like this, where you're just like, no, if you just memorize, if you just know how to hit everything, then it's not a problem. Like, you know those things shoot the fireballs in twos, and you just need to time your swings so that you don't get caught mid-swing by one of these fucking fireballs. Easy, right? Easy. That's not going well. You can almost get him, you know, you can almost just like scum your way there by getting in a corner and hoping for the best. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna crouch. He's like, cool, I'm gonna fly into your head and explode. Easy, right? You just fucking show up and whip him, man. Oh no. Right. I remember this stage now. Fuck this game. Right. This is the worst video game ever made. I remember now. Oh, that was not a platform of bones I could stand on. As that's kind of a cool moment, though, when you come up and you're like, oh man, now I'm above ground. Oh, right. Fuck this. Right. This fucking game. Oh. Look at this. Look at these fucking assholes. There's so many of them. There's so many of them. Anyway, that's Castlevania. I don't know. I'll give it one more go here. Yeah, no, that's yes. No, see, I did it to myself that time. Yeah, okay. The discipline is all gone. good. Yeah, doing good. Anyway, Castlevania. It's an interesting mix. It's a really interesting video game. I think when you return to it too, because there are elements of it that are incredible. You know, where you're like, oh, what an amazing video game, and then spots of it where you're like, this is a fucking massive pain in the ass to play. Like, large parts of this game are not like fun, or they don't necessarily feel fair. And yeah, you know, it's like I said, an interesting mix. That I think in like all these years later, returning to it is like, oh geez, man, this is fucked up. But like, I think a lot of elements of it still shine through. There are a lot of great, I mean, you know, the boss fights are so distinctive. The sub weapons and the way they were implemented is something that you didn't see, especially at the time. You didn't necessarily see on the system. And I think that there are a lot of things that kind of hold it back, as well. You know, I think it really is it's a very weird mix. It's a very weird mix. And so when you come back to it now, all these years later, it's like there are a lot of pieces of it that you go, oh, this is one of the greatest games ever made. And then that just starts to get chipped away at and undercut and all of that other stuff. But like, amazing music, really good graphics for its day. I think the Simon Belmont sprite is kind of shitty. Like, it's fine. But I think the enemies and stuff look really good. It's thematically sound. You know, at the time, you know, especially with the film strip at the opening and everything, like you feel like, oh, here's Dracula, there's that. You're like, oh, we got all these different movie monsters. Like, it's weird when you think about what Castlevania is now. You don't really think about it quite that way. Whereas when it first came out, it had a weird, like, here's all the movie monsters coming at you in one video game. You gotta, I bet Dracula's at the end of this, you know, like and now the lore and all of that other stuff is in such a different place. All these years later, well, maybe not that different of a place. Maybe it's just, you know, the simplicity of games of this era in terms of the stories they were often telling. It's very arcadey. It's very straightforward. You know, like, what if you could occasionally go the other way? What if there was a map? What if you could find items? You know, there's a lot of stuff you could do with Castlevania, I think, to make it one of the greatest franchises in the history of video games. Unfortunately, none of that is represented here. And so it's kind of weird. It's weird to go back to. And I have a obviously, you know, we'll get to the other games in the franchise, and at least on this platform, like, eventually we're gonna have to play Simon's Quest, and that's something I'm like weirdly not looking forward to. That fucking game. Anyway, that fucking game. But Castlevania, especially in comparison to the Castlevanias that would come later on this platform, let alone everything that would happen later, but like, the first Castlevania, you just go like, oh, it's like an arcade game. And it is legit an arcade game, which I don't know. I had never seen it in arcades. I still have never seen it in an arcade. Maybe I have now. You know, you go to weird old school arcades and they're just like, we got a haunted mansion over there or whatever. But like, the idea that this game existed elsewhere, and even the weird thing is when you play the first Castlevania on like MSX or I guess the 68,000, the old X68K, it has little hints of, oh, you've got to go here and do this, and there's little, you know, you have to find keys, you have to do things to, oh, like, there's a little bit more going on in those versions of the games. than there are here on the NES. And so you start to like really piece together, and it's, you know, not necessarily germane to the conversation, but like I think it's really interesting that there was an element of, yeah, let's strip that shit down and just make it really straightforward arcade. Just like you run to the right and you fight a fucking boss, and you know, that's it, man. As opposed to all this like collect this item so you can go here and do this, and you need a key to do this, and you know, like they you know, the early days of Castlevania feel like a franchise that, you know, it's the start of a franchise where they didn't know what they wanted to make yet, or they tried different things, because they did have that arcade game, and they did have this game, and they did have the MSX. You know, Konami would do the same thing with like Metal Gear in a weird way. Not that necessarily those are drastically different games, but you know, like when you go look at Metal Gear on the MSX and you go look at Metal Gear on the NES, you're like, what the fuck? How did this turn into that? It's such a weird thing. So Castlevania is a real up and down kind of thing. It's not even necessarily like a difficulty, like, oh, it's too hard. It's like, there's nothing wrong with a game that's too hard. I think there's just aspects of this game where the way it lays into you is a little brutal. Again, it's one of those games where you wonder if they, like, late in development decided, like, let's just give them infinite continues instead of, you know, softening any part of this game. And in some ways it's better for it. I don't think gaming today would quite be what it is. And maybe it would be a subtle difference, right? But it's one of those butterfly effect things that if Castlevania was not exactly the game it was at the time it came out, when it had a chance to be intensely popular. If this game had come out like 2 years later, I think it would be like, people would go like, it's too hard, I don't want to play it. You know, like I think that there would have been like, even that probably would have been enough time to where people would not stand for it the same way they were willing to back when it was originally released, because it was a relatively early release. And so I think that like all of that adds up to like a game that kind of has to be the way it is. But like, that doesn't mean that it's like a pure joy to play, right? Or that the difficulty is necessarily coming from a fun place always, right? Like that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with a difficult game as long as it's, you know, the right kind of difficulty. And I think there's aspects of this where that certainly is the case. And then there are other parts of it where you're just like, oh man, I don't know. That said, where does it go on our list? Is it better or worse than Fisher-Price Firehouse Rescue? I think it's probably a good starting place. Castlevania. Well, look, Castlevania is better than Zen Intergalactic Ninja. It's better than Dino Wars Destruction of Spondylus. Certainly better than Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball. It's a better game than Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. While I love Rescue the Embassy Mission, Castlevania is better. Is Castlevania better or worse than Low G-Man, the Low Gravity Man? You know, if we were taking historical context and some of those effects into account, Rockbuster says, without Castlevania, there is no Castlevania 64. To which I say, oh man, maybe they shouldn't have made Castlevania, because then there wouldn't have been a Castlevania 64. Castlevania 64. Jesus Christ, what a disaster of a video game. It's better than Batman the video game. It's better than Low G-Man the Low Gravity Man. Dare I say it, it's better than Muscle Tag Team Match. Is it better than Dragon Warrior? A game that got its own video earlier this week. If you missed out, that's there's a separate video that's up on YouTube. Played that Wednesday night, I believe, and got that on the list. Yeah, this is starting to get tough here. Scientifically speaking, is Castlevania better than Gradius? It's a kind of a... Those are titans, I think, of when we talk about mind share. We talk about games that if you asked someone, name 5 NES games, Castlevania and Gradius are 2 games that are more likely than most to fall out of someone's mouth. Titans of the sport, for sure. I might say from a personal joy standpoint, I think Castlevania is significantly better than Gradius, but like if we really break it down and strip it down to science here, they're sort of in the same league, I suppose. Yeah, this is a really heady list. You know, we get it high. You know, like Castlevania is no Mega Man 1. But it's better than Gradius. And you know what? Like, if we really, if we're really being honest with the facts and the figures here, Castlevania is better than Baseball Simulator. It's better than Solar Jetman. It's better than Super Spy Hunter. Is it better than Trojan? Huh. Is Castlevania better than Trojan? Yes, it is. Guerrilla War is really great. But I think Castlevania makes its way up the list. It's better than Balloon Fight. It's better than Tecmo World Wrestling. It's a better game than Kung Fu. Kung Fu certainly has a purity to it. There's nothing wrong with that. The 5 levels of Kung Fu are wonderful. The exception of that 4th level, which is less good. It's better than Kickle Cubicle. Kickle Cubicle. And where it's going to end up is as our new number 16. Number 16. Better than Kickle Cubicle, but it's no Tecmo Bowl. Come on. Thanks again to Ian for the suggestion. Did not necessarily anticipate another game cracking into the top 20 this week, but here we are. Next up is a suggestion from Drew. This is a game is this the game I think it is? That's something that happens from time to time where a game gets suggested and I go like, oh, right. And then I go, oh, wait, this is not the thing I thought it was. It is a game called Dragon Spirit, The New Legend. Little Namco jam. This came to arcades first, if I remember right. And it's a vertical scrolling shooter where you are a flying dragon, right? Is that right? Time went by. The Abominable Instant by Zawell was fading away from people's memory. Thank God. We all remember what Zawell did, but not as well as we used to remember. But the monsters of darkness were not dead. Their growing power was ready to cover the Earth again. I appreciate the capitalization of Earth. Now the new dragon legend is ready to begin. Finally. The old dragon legend is fucking dumb. Goku. Yeah, okay, yes, this is exactly the game I thought it was. All right, let's start it up. Oh, we get it. Is there another page of story here? Okay, the hero Amru, disguised as a blue dragon. Okay, so what is Amru really? It's finally about to fight the monster Zawel. I was gonna say that seemed like something I could collect, but no. Okay, so I forgot that it was a Xevious. So we have our air-to-air and our air-to-ground shots. I'm guessing this is our friend Zawel. I thought I was disguised as a blue dragon. Okay, so he blocks with his stick. All right, roll credits. Man, that was Amru and Arisha married and had twins. Amru became ill from his battle with Zawel. It's a sad story. The twins were named Lace and Iris. Meanwhile, Galda started conquering the Earth. Is that a good thing or a bad? Is that good? Do we like Galda? Galda took Iris away as his victim. Come with me, you're my victim. What's that mean? I feel like that implies... Lace took the sword which his father left to slay Galda. Okay. Blue Dragon, push start. Okay. What the fuck? This is kind of a lot. Honestly, this is kind of a lot. That's a good looking dragon. Look at that. Why is there a face in that rock? I didn't realize we were traveling through time as well. Wait. These guys are like the guys in Rollergames. They're just like creating holes in the ground and generally being a pain in the ass. Is there hidden stuff on the ground? We're shooting. We're bombing. It's going okay. Oh, God. No one told me. I thought that those were just dudes walking on the ground. Wouldn't mind a target drawn on the screen like Xevious to let me know where my ground shots are going to land, but I guess that's just something you get used to as far as the range goes. Nuke 'em. It's weird, the little bit of text at the top of this game makes this game feel infinitely deeper than like your average shooter. And the little cutscene of you know, turning into the dragon. Like, it's like... It's like weirdly effective, you know? Because you're like, oh, well, I mean, this is all for, you know... Like, it makes me wonder if the game's gonna have cutscenes, basically, which a lot of shooters certainly don't have. Our solid color background boss fight here. Okay, so yeah, we got... I'm a maid of Arlia. Okay. I was caught by the Monsters of Darkness. Coming to your town, the Cow Palace this Saturday. Monsters of Darkness. Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera. Yeah, featuring Gravedigger. My friends are also prisoners. They will be helpful to you if they turn up. Now I'm a tiny dragon. It's like, it's a game with a lot of power-ups, and I don't know what half of them do when I pick them up, but they seem like something I should probably get. I assume I don't want... I assume that those lava, the erupting volcanoes can hurt me. I'm guessing. When it comes to shooters like this, I tend to prefer games in which all the power-ups are good, and you don't have to stare at them and go like, wait, what? Okay, do I need this, or is this... There are some exceptions to that, like I do love Xanac, which is very much like, okay, I have 0, so I want to pick up more zeros, but I need to avoid all these other numbers. Oh, man. But I tend to appreciate it when I can just like mindlessly suck up everything that shows up and not have to think too hard about it. Especially in a situation like this where I don't know what any of this shit is. You collect it enough times, you're like, oh, okay, that one gives me another head. This, I don't know, like I said, this seems cool. The presence of cutscenes gives it a weight that it wouldn't have otherwise. Ah, I missed that. Annoying. You know, I understand the technical limitations at play here when we get these solid colored backgrounds for boss fights, but I hate it. It just looks so fucking cheap. Stronger enemies are coming now. Heal your wounds and prepare for battle. Jungle. gotta fight the amen break once and for all. Not much of a... yes, this feels like more of a swamp than a jungle here. Very... oh, did I get hit a bunch? Oh, no, no. Never mind. It was like my ground attack is not very fierce. I saw I only had one head. Now we're talking. We got some garbage to shoot through. I like shooting through garbage. Take me all the way back to, what, like Vanguard. The SNK Classic. This just, yeah, I don't know, man. The lack of a background and stuff, just this feels really trashy. This just kind of feels really trashy now. It's like, what is this, an Atari 2600 game? Like, come on. Not even any sound effects here. Technically a ground target, so we have to bomb it like that. I didn't choose the plant life chose me. Oh, cool, that seems good. The other ones should have done that too. That's graveyard. Looks more like the moon to me. An Evil scorpion. Music's all right. This game feels like it's wearing very thin very fast. Oh, are those ground targets? Is that what I'm... Yeah, I don't know. Like, the music is okay. This is maybe a little hit and miss. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I think that jungle stage was pretty bad, all told. And now that we're kind of getting out into the darkness on this stage a little bit, it's just like... just a little underwhelming. That was cool that dude just fucking blew up. The boss fights seem a little underwhelming from a difficulty perspective. I don't know. I'm a flower fairy. I had lost all hope. Thank you very much. Cave Road. Oh. Gravedigger. We found Gravedigger, everybody. Ah! Oh, okay. So those things popping up out of the ground do damage if they get you. That's a weird perspective thing. And then these things stop my shots, so I assume that they are dangerous. I'll say this is a cool idea that, like, this game feels ill-equipped to actually execute on, is the kind of weird perspective stuff coming up out of the ground, and then these things also taking damage, or, you know, theoretically, I'm guessing I'll take damage if I hit the walls, because otherwise, why would they be moving like that, and why would they block my shots? Let's try not to find out. I just don't, you know, there's aspects of it that I think will look pretty good. Like those jagged edges on the sides there look all right. But again, it feels like it's missing 2 layers of its background or something, you know? Which again, the platform's got its limitations, but we must bomb the spider. But not these floating ones. I guess that's the other thing I'd say is sometimes it's not immediately clear what layer some of the enemies are on. Not necessarily a huge deal. Most of the time it's pretty clear, but... Dangerous cave. Sup? The monsters of darkness are coming up in disguise. Barefoot. Evil walrus, the monsters in disguise. What even hit me? And opening the show on West Coast dates, it's green jelly. Oh, these are... okay. Those walls are walls. And not of the fun, like, Paul wall variety. Oh. I feel like the difficulty in this level is coming from just being unable to discern what the enemies are. In some cases, like they're just popping out of the ground so quickly that they're like, oh, okay, that was a thing. Okay, shit. Oh, we got side dragons? It's like 1942 all of a sudden. Oh, whoa, that's still the sides. Oh, man. That's, kind of just feels like the, yeah, I don't know. I may, if the, okay. Yeah, just, I don't know. There's a couple of, I guess you just kind of lose track of what's background and what's wall. Or at least I did there. Friggin' Space Harrier boss. Why are there just shots coming out of nothing there? Alright, whatever. We didn't have time to ask. The bosses go down really fast. I think that's weird. I think that's maybe the weirdest thing about this is like, you spend all this time getting to this boss fight and you're like, alright, here we go. And you're like, oh shit, okay, it just blew up. You're entering a world of darkness. No one can help you. All I can do is heal your wounds.
My lovely lady. Tell me more about lovely ladies.
Might also say, you know, just, and you know, it's not like I'm finishing the game right now or anything like that. I feel like we've kind of been cruising a little bit here. Oh, was that a evil? That looked like a skull almost. Did I get a downgrade? Don't put downgrades in power. Don't put reverse power-ups in video games. We don't need that. No one needs that. Life is hard enough as it is. We don't... Well, it's just like, hey, you can't shoot those guys because we put them behind a thing. Ha ha. Get bent. Fuckface. I'm like, oh, good. I guess I am the fuckface now. You have truly done it to me. You had to do it to me. Guy, a little creebling up from behind like that. Ah, you jerk. Fuck these guys, man. I tried to bomb him and he didn't blow up that way either. That seems unfair. Well, hey, we ran out of lives. The Earth is still in darkness. Don't I know it? Okay, well, I don't know. That's a pretty good run. Sounds like there were maybe a couple of stages left after that, but... Someone said if you lose that initial fight that the game goes a slightly different way. So why don't we try that real quick here before we... Just then. Ha ha ha! I am the evil master, Galda. I will take Iris as my victim. Wow, we get like the actual view of this. Son of the hero Amru, take me and be the gold dragon. Go and fight the evil master, Galda. Ah, it's now Gold Dragon push start, huh? That's cool. That's like if, you know, if you got to the beginning of Rambo where it says, hey, do you want to do the thing? And you say no, and then it turned into a cool jail simulator. Is there like a meaningful gameplay difference here? I don't know. Two health bars. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like if you lose at the beginning, they make it easier on you. That's kind of cool. Also, I like that the game just has rapid fire out of the gate. You know, it's where life is too short to fucking mash on buttons to shoot shots, man. If this was the potential fire rate, but you had to mash the button to get there, that would be a bummer. Instead, it's just like, hey man, have a good time. Just have a good time. Yeah, I assume you get a different ending playing this way. That would make sense. Anyway. That is interesting. Dragon Spirit, the New Legend. Just you know, it's a very straightforward thing. To a fault, I would say it's a little it's just too easy, I would say. And if it's easy up to that point and then gets hard for like the last couple of levels, that's sort of crummy also. But you know, it's a good little time, and you could do a lot worse, certainly. But where does that put it on our list? I mean, I don't think it's as good as Life Force. I think Life Force strikes a better balance. I think I'd take Section Z in a lot of cases here. Let's see. We need to kind of calibrate here. Where is this going? Let's ask the question here. Is Dragon Spirit the New Legend better than Top Gun? Yes, it is. Is it better than Super Spike V-Ball? Yes. Is it better than Ice Climber? Yes. Is it better than Journey to Silius? Is it better than Legendary Wings, which is actually kind of an analog in some ways? No. All right. So what we're saying here. Oh, what is the full name of this game? It is, sorry. Dragon Spirit, the New Legend. Okay. There we have it. It is our new number 56. Congratulations. The Dragon Spirit, the New Legend. It's okay. It's, you know, it's cool. Again, just, you know, kind of on the easy side, but sometimes that's nice. Sometimes you just want to have a nice, breezy time with a video game. Nothing wrong with that. Man, we're like 2 hours in and we've gotten through 3 games. I don't know that we'll get through the full list that I had picked out for today, but we'll see where we get to. I guess I picked some games that took a while, huh? All right. Time for some more filthy, unlicensed video games. Some real disgusting stuff. Illegal. From your friends at the Codemasters Corporation. Where is it? Blaine suggested this one. It's called Micro Machines. Good little jam here, which would make sense. You know, all this stuff, these weird British games, and they're like, fuck it, mate, we've been making sick fucking bangers on the Commodore 64 for years. Who do you want to be? Spider? Cherry? Jethro? Dwayne. We're going to be Dwayne. All right, power boats. Oh, that button goes backwards. I don't care. Yeah, this has real, like, kind of... Yeah, that is a real bootleg Smoke on the Water there, isn't it? So, you know, you're supposed to be tiny cars. It's like a level lord sort of situation, you know, racing on this kitchen table or whatever. You know, these games are often lauded as like multiplayer, like masterpieces or whatever. Especially, you know, you get into the some of the other games where they allow you to play 4-player and all of that. This is a good little jam. Dun, 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 dun. This is, you know, it's very straightforward. It's in a lot of cases, yeah, they let you kind of, you know, the guidelines are only there as a suggestion, I suppose, but oh god. We fell off the world. We fell off the desk. Again with the falling off. I will say that the skidding sound effect is really rubbing me the wrong way. God damn it. I like the music. I think, you know, and again, you know, this is, in some ways, this is as British as games get, unless you're playing as an egg. Just feels like everything from the fonts to the graphical stylings and stuff. You don't really think about the NES as a home for that sort of stuff because, you know, you think about, you know, the computers, generally speaking. But, you know, the NES got a little bit of it. A little bit of that flavor. So here's the thing. I think this style of driving game, of like, hey man, we got this cool top-down view and, you know, you're kind of all on the same screen and it's not like necessarily a split screen style experience, and you know, some of them would do split, some wouldn't. I'm not sure which one this one does. And we're not really going to give you a map, and it's just kind of on you to react to the turns as you see them, unless you are going to be the type of sicko that plays this game enough to memorize the courses, in which case you're a monster, and society should step in. These games are just so thin to me conceptually, and then the idea of like the single screen type game, especially, which, you know, again, some do split, but the ones that would do the single screen thing of like, oh, and if you fall behind and fall off the screen, then we got to try to catch you up. Like that worked for Hot Rod on in the Sega game in arcades, and that's about it. That is maybe the one like top-down racing game that gotta come up with a fourth now. A new fourth. I don't know. This is like kind of okay, I guess I would say. I don't hate this. But I would say, generally speaking, as a rule, this style of game and the Micro Machines franchise per se, like in to be specific, I fucking hate these games. I fucking hate these games. What the fuck? Ugh. The genre of racing game here that is, oh, you didn't react to the turn enough and so you fell off the desk, or you fell into the water, or whoops, you fell into this thing, is terrible. Terrible. Terrible video games. Oh, Dwayne. Do I have to do this fucking one again? Jesus Christ. Yeah, like something on screen that says, hey, there's a right turn coming up. A mini map, perhaps. Anything that would give you some kind of indication as to what you were doing would go a long way. And also, some of these off-track obstacles here, like, can set you so fucking far back. In ways that are, it's like, it's just not, you're not like, oh, ha ha ha, like, now I gotta catch up. You're like, no, these races aren't long enough for you to catch up now. For the level of fuck up you just did. You are essentially boned. You know what would be better in a weird way is if these were like point-to-point racing games where it was like more of an open world, get to the checkpoint kind of thing. Because there's something kind of impressive for the era about like, oh, you can kind of just drive anywhere. I mean, not really, because the environment's not really that big. But, oh, geez. And you just get so fucking sideways and now you're in fucking last place, and have fun, asshole. Good luck, dickhead. Like, thanks. Fuck this. Miserable sack of shit. And also, I guess, like, you know, like from on a personal level, like the way that this like specific genre of game managed to like achieve like a level of popularity why can't I drive up that? Like, it's not obvious from looking at some of the surface materials, like, oh, that's a ramp, and so you can't drive up that way. Like, fuck that, dude. Circuit breakers for the PlayStation 1. Only true monsters would like a game like that. But yeah, like, for whatever sick reason, like, there are people who love these games, and they're bad people. Straight up. Suck it, Dwayne. Suck it, Camerica. You know, Camerica gave us the Game Genie. But unfortunately, and there's not like any. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of the same order. What do me and Nintendo have in common? We both hate Camerica. Anyway, that's Micro Machines. An unlicensed game, and it shows. I think it's just like visually, like, for as cool, as conceptually cool as some of those environments can be, where you're like, oh, look, it's like a bathtub. Oh, it's like a table. Oh, it's like a school table. Oh, it's like a food table. Oh, it's like a sandbox. And here's this, and here's like, the whole thing looks real flat. The whole thing looks real basic. This game also got released in a variant where it ran on the Aladdin, which Codemasters and Camerica, which was, I think it was just the US arm or the Canadian arm of Codemasters. Is that what it was? It was like they shipped a little cartridge. They made mini cartridges that plugged into a bigger cartridge, and then you put that into your NES. So like some of the guts would be in that thing, and you'd only have to buy it once, and then the cartridges were ostensibly cheaper. And so you could plug those in and plug that in. But yes, it was unlicensed on the NES, and I hope that everyone responsible for it went to jail. But they were, in a lot of ways, I don't know if Micro Machines was one of these, but like a lot of the games that Camerica put out, a lot of the Codemasters games that came out in the US were like shiny gold cartridges. And so they were like kind of like, ooh, BMX kids, look at this, this looks fantastic. And so that made them stand out. A lot of that was kind of the cool thing about a lot of the unlicensed cartridges, is that they looked different. They looked like weird, crazy bootlegs, and they were fancy. Tengen with their black carts and all that sort of stuff. But you know, this is the same company that brought the Game Genie over, so you know, they were not licensed by Nintendo to put games out on the platform. And now Codemasters is owned by EA. Where's EA's new Micro Machines game? That's what I want to know. Where's this going to go on the list? Got to tell you, man. Again, it's the difference between my personal tastes and the science. Is if this were down to my personal tastes, we'd be like down here. But realistically, you know, we're kind of in this zone. You know, I have an Iron Man Stewart Super Off-Road is probably like a good, like, is this better or worse than that? And yeah, that's actually a good question. I'll say this, Micro Machines is better than Galaxy 5000 racing in the 51st century. It's better than Super Off-Road, which you have to separate, because when you say Super Off-Road, I immediately go, ooh, but that's the arcade version, which is a fantastic video game. The NES version, not an amazing port. Not an amazing port. And so you would say, yes, Micro Machines is ahead of that, but it's no Dino Wars destruction of Spondylus. It's no Spelunker. Is it better than Thrilla's Surfari? That is a I think, you know, we gotta say Micro Machines is better than Wood and Water Rage, but again, only because the water is so bad, even though the wood is so good. Oh, it's got good wood. It's our new number 98, Micro Machines. Congratulations. It's better than Wood and Water Rage, but it's no Thrilla's Surfari. Thanks to Blaine. No, sorry. Was it Blaine? Was that a Blaine? Is that a Blaine game? All right. Yes. Thanks to Blaine. Micro Machines. Ugh. Again, if it was just my list, if this was just me ranking games, Micro Machines would be in the bottom 5%. Next up, a game that I forgot existed on this platform. This is weird. And I don't know what this is going to look like, but we're going to find out. Capcom put this out here. It's a game called Snow Bros. Prince Nick and Tom kind of a Bubble Bobble-esque sort of thing. For many years, King Scorch had plotted to take over the world. But he knew that his armies could not defeat Prince Nick and Prince Tom of Whiteland. I think it's in Tennessee somewhere. Then one day, King Scorch found a way to freeze his enemies in their tracks. Weird that King Scorch would learn ice powers, but hey, from high atop the Crystal Mountains, King Scorch used his magic to summon the winter winds and transform the two princes. This is where they got the idea for that song. Into snowmen. Without the protection of the princes, why can't they still protect them? And so they're just snowmen. Whiteland was quickly conquered. With Nick and Tom in cold storage, King Scorch invaded the tiny kingdom of Snowland and took Princess Terry and Princess Tina hostage. Are these the new elves? I've heard some, we love these old elves. We love Prince Nick and Tom. When Nick and Tom heard what King Scorch had done, they vowed to rescue. Why did they let him get captured in the first place? It's not like they were frozen, and this is like they're in cold storage. They vowed to rescue the princesses from Scorch's castle and restore peace to the two kingdoms. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, it's Bubble Bobble with like a slightly different mechanic. Oh! Fuck this. Yeah, I feel like this is this makes a lot more sense than, oh man, you cannot shoot those shots to stop them. But yeah, you put them into snowballs and then you roll them, and then, you can kill them. And you can kill other enemies with the snowball. Oh, jeez. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. A guy I know and another guy that I don't really know wrote a rap song where they called "Here Comes the Snow," where they rapped as the Snow Bros. It's very lewd. Lewd? And it's a classic, quite frankly. Ah, fucking dicks, man. See, there you go. You kill a bunch of them all at once, and then a bunch of sweets appear. I wish I could jump down. I wish there was a way to, like, jump down through a platform. It's, like, frustrating that this game doesn't have that. Because it's got the same problem as Bubble Bobble, where you're just like, oh, there's like, a fruit there that I want to get, but there's no way, like, the movement speed is such shit that there's no way that we're gonna get there in time. I'll say this, I think that this is a much more successful project than Bubble Bobble on the NES is. same time, I think this game has some of the same issues that I have with Bubble Bobble. Just as a core conceit. Now we're in fucking business. I'm hauling ass. Oh, man. Get. Oh. I probably need to roll snowballs into him, don't I? Ugh. Okay. That should be something. I should get something. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is better than a Bubble Bobble in almost every way. Oh, my snow, I cannot hit him out of that, huh? Good to know, I guess. That didn't, he was... Man, fuck this guy. Can I just kill stuff? Okay. I was like, what? Okay. Apparently that's like an invincibility, move around and kill everybody power up. Fuck. Prick. Yeah, going through the walls is uncool. See, what you want to do is get up there and knock a guy down and have the snowball go down and take out a bunch of other guys. That's what I would have loved to have done there, but... Yeah, this isn't bad. I mean, you know, as a representation of the arcade game, this is a pretty good... In fact, I don't even know, I don't think the arcade game had, like, the slot machine and some of that other stuff, did it? I mean, maybe it did. I can't remember off the top of my head, but... So, like, they kind of expanded on it a little bit on top of that. It's no Snow Bros 2. None of these elves are new. It's bullshit. That's some real fucked up shit that happens right there. Some real fucked up shit that happens right there. Yeah, what are these elves? Like, they're a zillion years old. Been playing with these elves. These elves are in the public domain at this point. These elves are so old. Prince Nick and Tom. I got shot. What's up with that? Oh, man. All right, Snow Bros. Right, he's gonna shoot more bombs. I can maybe jump to the other side, freeze them, whatever, do it. Okay, anyway. Let's call it. That's Snow Bros. It's pretty good. Pooey. I would say I'm a Snow Bros fan from a distance. Like, the game itself is fine. But I just love the idea of Prince Nick and Tom. I love the idea. It's Snow Bros is fun to say. And that goes a long way. Scientifically speaking, Snow Bros, I think I think it kind of blows away Bubble Bobble. So let's find Bubble Bobble on our list because we know we're going above that. But as we look up the list here, how much higher are we going really? It's better than Pirates. Is Snow Bros better than Top Gun? Yes, it is. Is it better than Narc? Yeah, that's a funky port. Is it better than Rambo? Yeah. Is Snow Bros better than Rambo? It is. Rambo is not a good game. It's just an interesting one. It's better than Wrecking Crew, but we're kind of, this is our other cold-based game. Is it better than Ice Climber? I mean, come on now. Let's not be crazy. Let's not be completely nuts here. We're taking it over a Super Spike V-Ball. We're going to write it out because that's what the American box art says. Despite that feeling wrong to me in every single way, we're going to write out the word brothers. And there we have it. It's our new number 58. Congratulations to to both Prince Nick and Tom. As a potential exclusive, maybe when we get to the end of the stream after we're done recording, so it's not on the archive, I will play you Here Comes the Snow by the Snow Bros. The illest rap song about the Snow Bros you will ever hear. Not a name suggests the next game, and this may end up being our last one for the day here. I did not know that this, I feel like I'd forgotten that this game existed. I think of this character as a purely a Genesis character, not someone we see on the NES. It's Spot, the video game. We can restart it. You can see the 7-Up logo if that'll make you feel a little better. Yeah, this is an uncool Spot, I guess. It's just Spot. Oh, right. It's just like fucking Othello. Or... with like sick-ass animation. For a second there, I was like, and it's 4-player, but no, it is not. You just have a different starting location. Othello, you start in the middle of the board. And I assume that the jumping rules for stealing their pieces are the same. Yeah, maybe you can play it 4-player. And this is just the 2-player mode. Oh, you did it to me. So what can I do here? If I just move next to it, does that take it? Or do I have to get... Okay. So he was able to move into that spot. Okay, man. All right. But can I just do that? I can. Okay. And now this guy can take my shit. Okay. All right. Okay. Man. Brutal. I guess you get to decide if you want to, you know, duplicate by only moving one space, or do you want to jump and hope that that helps you take more pieces, right? I mean, that's the... I got my corner back. I lost my corner again. I made a huge mistake. What cool animations. This spot seems cool, but I can't know for sure. Okay. There's a real good video review of this from some European Amiga video mag where the guy calls it the best puzzle game since Tetris. That is, perfect. Now see, he's got to jump to do that, and so I can kind of shore up my position back here. So basically the rules are, if I only move one space, then it duplicates my piece. If I want to move a space and jump, then that moves a piece from one spot to the other. Like this, for example. So this will be a jump. And so that leaves that spot open for that guy to do that. And I was like, as I was doing it, I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that because I left it too open for this other fucking guy to do this other bullshit. But we can still do this, and we'll grow into this space. Alright, you'll jump there, and that's... We'll take these ones back. Let's just lock that spot kind of down-ish, I guess. And so it's Othello, but you can also jump. And so by moving multiple spaces, or you don't have, or rather, you take anything that you are touching, rather than having to get one of your pieces on either side of a string of their pieces. How many? Okay, so I'll lose 2 pieces if they take that spot, but I'll gain 4 by taking this one. So let's do that. I have to jump. There's no... Well, I could grow and just take 1. And then have a little less... I'm not as open to counterattack. They'll take those 2, though, and then I'll have to just jump again, though. Yeah. Well, we'll do this, and then they'll grow there, and I'll take 3, and they'll take 3, but eventually... Oh, no, they'll take way more than 3. They'll take 5 there. Let's see, I can go here and jack that shit, and there's only 3 that you can take back when you take that spot, so that's a good exchange for me. Yeah, you gotta jump to do it, and so that means when I take this last spot, I will get a bunch, and I already won anyway. This is like the best puzzle game since Tetris, if you ask me. Shit, man. And they're doing the wave. Yellow wins. Oh, that's yellow? I thought that was green. Wait, isn't Spot green? Isn't the canonical color of Cool Spot green? Isn't 7-Up green? Well, yeah, you're right. Spot is red. You're right. Spot is red. I played yellow. Oh, my score was yellow. Okay. I was like, what? So you could play against 3 AIs if you wanted to, and oh, you could put them on teams, looks like, as well. If you wanted to play a team game. Oh no, that's probably difficulty level of the AI. That's not a team number. Oh, does this turn off the animations? Nice. Or, I don't know. Edit board. Okay, so if you want to have a weird board, you can do that too. You can't expand, you can only remove. And this button, I guess, will just make it random. It's weird that there's no, like, progression or anything. It's just like, hey, I don't know, you can... So, like, now we have to jump out of that area. Oh, this is, like, so much nicer with the fucking... Well, we can just win. Get fucked. This is a fun spin on Othello. It's pretty good. I think as a game, I wish it had a little more in the way of just like, you know, you got to make your own. You got to make your own options. You can choose the random stuff. You can turn it on and off a little bit here. You can edit the board, but there's no like, I guess these count as built-in variants when you kind of just cycle through their options here. And then you can kind of modify it, I guess, if you want. If this just had a... It almost needs like a progression of just like, hey, man, here now, game 2. Now you got to play against 2 AIs, or, you know, just a little more... It's just kind of, it's a sandbox, you know, there's no built-in game on top of it, you know, it's just, here's this board game with these rules, and here are the rules you can modify, but it's on you to modify them. And if you want to instigate a timer so you can play Speed Spot, you could absolutely do that. But like as far as like Othello variants, like it's good. It's cool. You know, nothing necessarily wrong with it per se. It's just feels like it needs a little bit more of a video game laid on top of it, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know. Spot the video game, not the arcade game. Spot the arcade game. Totally different. I could see getting way into that. If you had another person or perhaps 3 other people, if you wanted to play the 4-player stuff, I could see getting like way into that for like a weekend or something, you know, and just being like, all right, whoever has the least spots has to finish their drink, and then we're going to refill and play again. God damn it. Of 7-Up, naturally. Maybe like you do like 7 and 7s or something. I hate 7 and 7s, but you know, why not? Why not make it a thematic drink appropriate to the 7-Up video game? But you know, it's almost like Archon in that way, where it's just like, here's a menu, pick your options for the type of game you want to do. We're not going to really do like, you know, because even if it just had, do you want to play a beginner game, an intermediate game, or advanced game, and do something, you know, like some kind of built-in variance, I suppose, as opposed to just like go into the edit board mode, and if you hit this button, you'll get a, you know, kind of random variance that we made, sort of, kind of, just a little bit more on that front, I suppose. But it's well made for what it is, absolutely. Fido Dido was not a better 7-Up mascot than Cool Spot. Fido Dido is like a garbage dump of a weird squiggly line. Fido Dido, I'm just going to say, as far as like spokespeople for food and drink, Fido Dido and Jared from Subway, like this. Like this. So if you like Fido Dido, I guess. But I don't trust Fido Dido. I'm not. No, thank you. Is Spot the video game better than Palamedes? A pretty good little puzzle game. Yeah, I suppose it is. Is it better than Zombie Nation? Yeah. Is it better than Urban Champion? Similarly visceral, a similarly violent sport, I think. Spot the video game and Urban Champion. Urban Champion has 2 types of attacks, and so does Spot the video game. I'm saying if they made an Urban Champion themed Othello variant, that would be pretty cool. But Spot the video game is not better than City Connection. So really, what we're asking here is it better or worse than Urban Champion, which is a perfectly natural thing to figure out. A perfectly normal question to ask. And the answer is that this is our new number 40. Congratulations to the people at 7-Up. At least they got one good video game. This, you know, hey, 50% ain't bad. And that means that our list now has 153 games on it. Those first 3 took a lot of time. We did not get to Jordan versus Bird or Wampum. Oh, boy. Wampum. So next week we will start the list. We will start next week's list with those two games, Jordan versus Bird and Wampum. And we'll build out another list from there. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, we're some interesting entries this time around. I would not have expected Spot the Video Game to do as well as it did, quite frankly. I would have thought Micro Machines would have went way lower. Dragon Spirit ended up being kind of surprising. And in some ways, Castlevania ended up being a little bit higher than I thought it would go, to be honest. Because I think when you sit and think about Castlevania, the difficulty is the thing that shines through these days. Like, oh, that first Castlevania, oh, what a pain in the ass. But a great deal of that game holds up very well. And of course, we have Rollergames, a video game. If you want to suggest games, join the Gerstmann Advisory Panel today. Go over to patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann and get on board. Let's keep this nightmare rolling all through 2024 and beyond. We will lock eyes and we will stare at each other until the end of time. Patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann. Strap in for excitement. And of course, these videos end up on YouTube. You can head over to guard.bike to get to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I don't know. There's videos there. You should subscribe to it. When those numbers go up, that's fun. So do that. Go like and subscribe. Go tell your damn friends about YouTube.com. It's a video website. You should really check it out. There's a lot of stuff on there, including all of these videos. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all on Tuesday for the podcast. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.